Hi everyone, I'm Julang from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a design from the Forest series, the Autumn Rhythm Motif Blanket. This blanket includes Motif One, Motif Two, Motif Three, Motif Four, Motif 5 and the edging. First, crochet the motifs and connect them. You can start with any motif. Connect in any direction. Except for the first motif. All other motifs should be worked and joined along the last round simultaneously. Everyone can determine the joining direction according to your own habits. Here, I will follow from motif 1 to 5. I'll explain the crocheting and joining method using these 5 motifs. After you learn the method, refer to the motif arrangement diagram to join them. Once completed, crochet the edging along the connected motifs. Let's start with motif 1. The center is made up of several small motifs, started with an adjustable magic ring, worked and joined as you go. All motifs are crocheted in rounds using the magic ring method and work counterclockwise. Start with a small flower at the very center. Then crochet the 4 surrounding ones in a counterclockwise order. Join on the last round with the other motifs. Several crochet stitches will be applicated, so I won't explain each one. Refer to the chart for specifics. Now, let's show. To make it more convenient for everyone to watch. Here, I'll use other yarn for the demonstration. Colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Begin with a magic ring. After completing the magic ring, move on to our 1. Chain 4. Insert the hook into the center ring, and make 1 double treble crochet, yarn over 3 times. Pick up the center ring, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pass through 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. You will have completed 1 double treble crochet, chain 4. Make 1 slip stitch. Do not tighten. In the chart, the oval-shaped slip stitch should not be tightened. The round slip stitch should be tightened. From the chain of 4 to this slip stitch makes 1 group. You need to repeat this group 4 times for this round. Let's take a look again. Chain 4. Pick up the center ring, and crochet 1 double treble crochet. Chain 4. Make 1 slip stitch. Follow the chart to crochet until the end. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Before finishing the crochet, fasten off the yarn. You need to crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Pull the ring tight. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. The side with the braid-like texture on the edge is the right side. The first round is complete. Continue crocheting the 2nd to 4th rounds. There are 4 groups of flowers in total. The crochet techniques are almost identical. Let's start with the group below. Begin with a magic ring. Chain 1 to start. Crochet 8 single crochets into the starting ring. Slip stitch into the first stitch and pull tight. Secure with a chain stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before cutting. The second round of the first group is now complete. Move on to the third round. Start with a slip knot. At the slip stitch join spot from the previous round, pull out the slip knot. Work 1 chain. Make a SC2 in 1. Pick up the same stitch and work 2 single crochets. Complete the SC2 in 1. For this round, pick up each stitch and correspondingly make SC2 in 1. Crochet based on the pattern chart to the end. Join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. The third round is complete. Move on to the fourth round. Work 4 chains. Insert hook into the slip stitch join spot and work 1 tr. Yarn over twice. Pick up the same stitch, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over and pass through 2 loops. Repeat this step 2 more times. Complete 1 treble crochet, counting the initial 4 chains. Work 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches. The 4 chains and the last slip stitch form a group. This group makes up 1 petal. In this round, crochet 8 petal groups. Let's review it again. 4 chains. Work 1 treble crochet in the same stitch. 4 chains. Work 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches. Follow the pattern chart to reach the 5th petal. Four chains. For the next treble crochet, start with an incomplete treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Repeat this once. You have now completed 1 incomplete treble crochet. Now it's time to connect with the first round. Pick up the first round. Pay attention. Bring the yarn to the front of the hook. Look at the right side and insert from the slip stitch. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Complete the connection. Crochet based on the pattern chart to the end. Pay attention to the last group of petals. There is only one slip stitch. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Thread the needle. Follow the texture of the stitches to bring the yarn to the wrong side and hide it. Weave in these yarn tails as well. The fourth round is now complete, so one group of flowers, from rounds 2 to 4 is now done. Continue and make another flower, then connect it with the completed flower, and also the first round. This is the second flower counted counterclockwise. Crochet until the fifth petal of the fourth round. 4 chain stitches. 1 incomplete treble crochet. Bring the yarn to the front of the hook. Look at the right side and insert the hook into this slip stitch from this round. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Join complete. 4 chain stitches. 2 slip stitches. 4 chain stitches. Crochet 1 incomplete treble crochet into the same stitch. Get ready to connect. Pick up the stitch at the top of the petal on the left side of the first connected petal group. At the same time, pick up the double treble crochet stitch between the two joining points from the first round. The double treble crochet stitch is located at the bottom. Yarn over and pull through all loops. This connects the flowers together. Continue to work the entire round. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Follow the method we learned earlier. Use a darning needle to bring the yarn tail through the stitches to the wrong side and hide it. Let's take a look. Another group of flowers has been crocheted. There are 2 flowers left after this. The technique for the third flower is identical to the second flower. Pay attention to the fourth flower. 3 petals need to be connected. Refer to the previous demonstration for the method. I won't repeat the explanation. The yarn tails can be hidden on the wrong side. Hide them a few times and then trim any excess yarn tails. Up to this point, we have finished rounds 2 through 4. Move on to the 5th round. Start with a slip knot. Place the previously crocheted section in front. Pick up any DT or stitch from the first round. Pull through the slip knot. Make 5 chain stitches. Crochet 14 chain stitches. Pick up the next DT or stitch from the first round. Crochet 1 DTR. This round is about repeating 14 chains and 1 DTR. Crochet based on the pattern chart until the end. Pick up the inside loop and half stitch of the 5th chain from the beginning chain. Make 1 slip stitch. The 5th round is now complete. Now start with the 6th round. Make 3 chain stitches. Connect in the 3rd chain stitch. Start by making 2 chains first. Pick up the horizontal bar at the top of the back of the petal on the right small flower. Then make 1 more chain stitch. Crochet 1 double crochet in the same position. The next double crochet needs to be connected. Work an incomplete double crochet. Insert the hook in the same position. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Complete 1 incomplete double crochet. Start connecting. Pick up the horizontal bar at the top of the back of the petal on the left small flower. Mind that the yarn is behind the hook. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Complete the connection for the second point. The double crochets on both sides of the corner in this round need to be connected. All of them require joining. The red line on the chart indicates the guide position. Chain 7. Pick up the chain from the previous round. Work a slip stitch and do not tighten. Chain 7. Work an incomplete double crochet in the DTR. Continue connecting. Similarly, pick up the small flower on the right side. This is the horizontal bar at the top of the back of the petal. Work 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Work 1 incomplete double crochet. Continue connecting. Connect with the horizontal bar at the top of the back of the petal of the small flower on the left side. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Work according to the chart until the end. Slip stitch in the third chain from the beginning chain. If it's too tight, you can just pick up the half stitch. Carry the yarn across. Enlarge the loop. Thread the ball of yarn through. Gently pull to tighten. Round 6 is completed. Move on to round 7. Start with a slip knot. Pick up the front loop of this double crochet in the middle of round 6. That is, the strand of the stitch closer to yourself. Pull out the slip knot. For this round, work only the front loops. Leave the back loops unworked. Make 4 chain stitches. Work 1 treble crochet. CH1SL picket. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Pick up the front loop of the stitch and the strand below it. There should be 2 strands total. Pull the yarn through to complete the slip stitch. Complete 1 CH1SL picket. Make 4 chains. Pick up the half loop, and work 1 slip stitch. Chain 5. Work 1 double treble crochet. CH1SL picket. Chain 5. Work 1 slip stitch. Chain 4. Work 1 treble crochet. CH1SL picket. Chain 4. Work 1 slip stitch. This is a triangular small flower. There are 4 triangular small flowers in this round. Chain 4. Work 1 slip stitch into the chain space. Chain 4. Work 1 slip stitch into the next chain space. Chain 4. Crochet a triangular small flower. Pick up the front loop of the middle double crochet stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Chain 4. Work 1 treble crochet. Work 1 CH1SL picket. Chain 4. Work 1 slip stitch. Chain 5. Work 1 double treble crochet. Work 1 CH1SL picket. Chain 5. Work 1 slip stitch. Chain 4. Work 1 treble crochet. Work 1 chain stitch picket. Chain 4. Work 1 slip stitch. Another triangular small flower is completed. Crochet based on the pattern chart to the end. Pick up the half stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Weave in the ends. The 7th round is completed. Move on to crochet the 8th round. The small triangular flowers of the 7th round are crocheted by picking up the front loop only. At this part of this round, crochet by picking up the back loop corresponding to the front loop. Pick up the back loop and pull the carrying yarn through. Make 3 chain stitches. Work 3 chains. Crochet 3 double crochets into the same half stitch. One chain stitch. Pick up the chain stitches from round 6 and 7. Work 3 double crochets. Three double crochets make 1 leaf. Leaves are connected by chain stitches. 1 chain stitch. Crochet 1 leaf into the hole of the 7th round. One chain stitch. Pick up the chain stitches from round 6 and 7. Crochet 1 leaf. One chain stitch. From the first chain stitch to the next chain stitch is one side. Pay attention. For the middle leaf, pick up the chain stitch from round 7 and crochet. For the leaves on the left and right sides, pick up the chain stitches from both round 6 and 7 to crochet. The small flower in the 7th round is crocheted by picking up the front half loop. For this round, pick up the corresponding back loops and crochet. Pick up the back loop, crochet 1 leaf. Three chain stitches. One leaf. Two leaves and 3 chain stitches make one corner. There are 4 corners in this round. This round is repeating the edges and corners. Crochet based on the pattern chart until the end. Pick up the back loop. Crochet 2 double crochets. The first corner is now complete. Join with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain. Round 8 is completed. Now start round 9. Slip stitch 1 stitch in the space without tightening. Chain 3. Crochet 3 chain stitches. Crochet 1 leaf in the same space. One chain stitch. Next, crochet leaves in the chain spaces. Connect them with chains. Repeat this pattern all the way down to the corner. Crochet 1 leaf in the corner space. Chain 3. Crochet 1 leaf. This round is about repeating edges and corners. 1 chain stitch. Crochet 2 double crochets in the first space. The first corner is now complete. Join with a slip stitch in the third chain of the turning chain. The 9th round is completed. Move on to the 10th round. Slip stitch into the space. Chain 3. Crochet 3 chains. The first double crochet of the next leaf needs to be connected. Yarn over. Pick up 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back of the top of the center petal of the small triangle flower. Insert the hook into the hole at the same time. Work a double crochet. Crochet 2 double crochets into the space. Chain 1. Crochet the next leaf. Connect with the third double crochet. Complete 2 double crochets. Yarn over. Pick up 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back of the top center of the left petal of the small triangle flower. Insert the hook into the hole at the same time. Crochet a double crochet. Chain 1. Crochet the next leaf. Connect with the middle double crochet. Complete 1 double crochet. Yarn over. Pick up the center of the right petal of this small flower. 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back of the top. While inserting the hook into the hole, crochet a double crochet. Chain 1. Crochet the next leaf. Connect with a double crochet in the middle. Yarn over. Pick up the center of the petal on this small flower. 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back at the top center. While inserting the hook into the hole at the same time, crochet 1 double crochet. Chain 1. Crochet the next leaf. Connect with a double crochet in the middle. Complete 1 double crochet. Yarn over. Pick up the petal on the left side of this small flower. 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back at the top center. While inserting the hook into the hole at the same time, crochet 1 double crochet. Crochet 1 double crochet. One chain. Crochet the next leaf. Connect with the first double crochet. Yarn over. Pick up the petal on the right side of this triangular small flower. 1 to 2 strands of yarn from the back at the top center. While inserting the hook into the hole at the same time, crochet 1 double crochet. 2 double crochets. 1 chain. Next, crochet the corner. Connect with the first double crochet of the second leaf. Crochet 1 leaf. 3 chains. Yarn over. Pick up the petal at the center of the triangular small flower, 1 to 2 strands of yarn, from the back at the top center. While inserting the hook into the hole at the same time, 1 double crochet. 2 double crochets. 1 side and corner are completed. This round is repeating the edges and corners. And join at the same position. One chain. Crochet 2 double crochets in the first space. The first corner is finished. Join with a slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain. Round 10 is completed. Move on to crochet the remaining rounds. Complete round 11. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Hide the yarn end at the back. Switch yarn for round 12. Use a slip knot to start when switching colors. Handle other color changes in the same way. For the final round, each central leaf on the sides has only 2 double crochets. Only 2 double crochets. Before finishing and cutting the yarn, you need to crochet 1 chain to secure and hide the yarn at the back. Follow the chart to complete the remaining rounds. That's all for the remaining rounds, and that concludes Motif 1. Next, let's learn Motif 2. Start by crocheting the central part, then work the outer ring counterclockwise. The new stitches used include half double crochets, HDC 2 in 1. Please watch the demonstration. Now start crocheting the first round. Begin with a magic ring. Chain 2. Pick up the center ring, and crochet 11 HDC. Pull the ring tight. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. The first round is complete. The side with the half double crochet stitches is the right side. Move on to the second row. Chain 19. Count back 2 stitches. Pick up the half loop. Crochet 18 slip stitches correspondingly. Don't pull too tight. The second row is done. Move on to the third row. Chain 3. Skip 1 stitch. Slip stitch 1. Chain 2. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Work 4 half double crochets into the hole. Skip 2 slip stitch braids. Slip stitch 1 on the third slip stitch braid. The third row is completed. Move on to the fourth row. Turn the work over. Pick up and crochet 5 slip stitches evenly into the corresponding stitches. Slip stitch picking up 2 strands of the chain from the beginning stitch. Chain 1. Turn the piece. Crochet into the slip stitch braid. 1 single crochet. One SC 2 in 1. One HDC 2 in 1. Work 2 half double crochets in the same stitch to form a half double crochet increase. Complete the HDC 2 in 1. 2 half double crochets. Skip 2 slip stitch braids. Slip stitch 1 on the third slip stitch braid. Row 4 is completed. Move on to rows 5 through 8. Refer to the working method of row 3 for these rows. Follow this method to complete them. Some slip stitch positions are indicated by arrows. Pay attention. Up to this point, rows 5 through 8 have been explained. Now start row 9. Pick up the half loop of the starting chain from row 2. Look at the wrong side. Correspondingly make 18 slip stitches. This is the braid at the top. Insert your hook in this position. Pick up the half loop, and crochet a slip stitch. Row 9 is completed. Move on to rows 10 through 15. The crocheting method is similar to rows 3 through 8. Everyone, follow the learned methods to complete them. Complete these rows according to the methods you've learned. Rows 10 through 15 are completed. With this, the explanation of the central part is finished. Start round 16. It needs to connect with the central part. First, make an alignment mark on the back. In the first round, the side where you see the stitches is the right side. Make a mark on the wrong side, the 15th row at the top of the right side. Counting from the left, count 7 stitches. below the stitch pattern of the 7th stitch. Pick up 1 to 2 threads and make a mark. Counting from the left, count 2 stitches, below the stitch pattern of the 2nd stitch. Pick up 2 threads and make a mark. Everyone can refer to this method. Mark the connection position of round 16. The position indicated by the oval-shaped slip stitch is the marked position. This position points to the chain stitch, so pick up 2 threads on the back of the chain stitch to make a mark. Let me emphasize this point here. The red guide line points to the upper part of the stitch pattern. Make a mark on the upper part. Points to the lower part of the stitch pattern. Make a mark on the lower part. If there are not enough stitch markers, you can work and join along the side. Remove and remake the marks. After making all necessary alignment marks, start crocheting and joining. There is a triangle mark on the chart. This is the starting position for this round. Start with a slip knot. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Pick up the yarn of the corresponding stitch marker. Work 1 slip stitch. Crochet 5 chain stitches. Pick up the yarn of the next stitch marker. Work 1 slip stitch. For this round, repeat crocheting 5 chain stitches and 1 slip stitch. Pick up the yarn from the alignment mark to work a slip stitch. Make sure to find the correct position. You can remove the stitch markers as you crochet. Crochet 4 chain stitches. Pick up the 2 strands of the first chain stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Check the effect on the wrong side. The spaces between the slip stitches are holes. Check the number of holes. Round 16 is completed. Move on to round 17. Everyone can finish it according to the chart. Whichever hole the double crochet points to, that's where you insert the hook and crochet. Round 17 is done. Now start on round 18. Make alignment marks in the center area. Slip stitch 1 into the hole. Chain 3. Crochet 3 chains. Connect with the first double crochet of the next leaf. Yarn over. Pick up the marked stitch. Insert hook into the first hole. Work a double crochet. Two double crochets. This round involves crocheting leaves in the holes. Connect leaves with chain stitches. And make connections at the corresponding positions. Pick up the first hole and work 2 double crochets. Slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning chain. Finish the corner triangle. Round 18 is complete. Move on to rounds 19 and 20. Round 19 requires connections. Pay attention to the connecting positions. Everyone use the learned method to complete it. Up to this point, rounds 19 and 20 are done. Move on to the last round. Start connecting with Motif 1. Let me explain. Here, I will only demonstrate the joining method. The connection order may not be the same as the sample. Next, watch me demonstrate with a swatch. After crocheting 2 sides, you arrive at the 3 chain stitches of the corner. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Start the connection. Place the yarn in front of the crochet hook. Pick up the corner chain stitch of Motif 1 from top to bottom. Slip stitch 1 stitch. Complete the connection for 1 point. The connection between corners will be done using this method. 1 chain stitch. 3 double crochets in the same space. Move the yarn to the front of the hook. From top to bottom. Pick up the chain space of Motif 1. Slip stitch 1 stitch. In this way, continue crocheting forward until the next corner. One chain stitch. In the middle of the last round of Motif 1, there are only 2 double crochets. Skip this space. Pick up the gap between the 2 double crochets and slip stitch 1 stitch. The third motif is here. Also pick up the same gap for connection. Crochet according to the chart until the end. Slip stitch on the third chain of the turning chain. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and break the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. That's it for the last round. At the same time, we finished Motif 2. Next, let's learn Motif 3, including the mushroom, large flowers, small flowers, and the base piece. Crochet these parts in sequence. The mushroom starts with foundation chain. First, crochet in rounds and then work back and forth. The new stitch technique used is HDC2 tog, DC2 in 1, and TR2 in 1. Please watch the demonstration. Start by chaining 8 stitches. Then move on to the first round. Chain 2 stitches. Count back 4 stitches. Pick up the inside loop and evenly crochet 6 HDC. Pick up the last chain stitch front loop. Crochet 5 half double crochets. To avoid it being too tight, pick up the front loop to crochet. Pick up 2 front loops and work 6 half double crochets moving forward. Look at the right side of the chain stitches. Pick up the back loop of the next chain stitch. Crochet 4 half double crochets. Slip stitch into the second chain stitch of the turning chain. The first round is complete. The side with clear stitches is the right side. Move on to crochet the second round. Pay attention. After completing the beginning chain, crochet 1 HDC into the slip stitch position from the previous round. Everyone follow the pattern chart to finish it. The second round is complete. Continue with the third round. Make 2 chain stitches. Crochet 8 half double crochets moving forward. In the same stitch, crochet 1 half double crochet and 1 double crochet. One double crochet, 1 TR2 in 1. Crochet 2 treble crochets in the same stitch. Complete a TR2 in 1. Crochet based on the pattern chart to the end. 1 DC 2 in 1. Crochet 2 double crochets in the same stitch. The last stitch. Insert the hook into the slip stitch position from the previous round. Crochet 1 double crochet. Slip stitch in the second chain from the beginning chain. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. The third round is complete. Move on to crochet the remaining rows. Start with a slip knot and begin crocheting. Note that, after finishing the fourth row, check if it's positioned in the middle of the mushroom. You can adjust the starting point as needed. Follow the chart to crochet until the last HDC2 tog. Pick up the stitch and work 1 incomplete half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, and pull through. Complete 1 incomplete half double crochet. Pick up the last stitch and work 1 incomplete half double crochet. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and break the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. That's all for the remaining rows up to this point. This concludes the mushroom part. Move on to crochet the large flowers. Start with a magic ring and crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Everyone follow the chart to finish the last stitch. Let's take a look at the final finishing step. Complete the last half double crochet stitch. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail, and break the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Thread the yarn tail into a sewing needle. Follow the texture of the stitches. Bring the yarn to the right side. Bring the starting yarn tail to the current right side as well. Sew the large flower onto the front part of the mushroom. At a position slightly above the center, with the wrong side of the large flower facing up. Bring the sewing needle to the wrong side of the mushroom. Hide the yarn tail in between the layers. With the wrong side of the large flower facing up. Come out through a stitch. Insert into the next stitch. Sew the large flower in this manner. Tie a knot on the wrong side to secure it. Weave in the ends. The large flower is completed. Move on to crochet the small flowers. Refer to the chart and the way the large flower was sewn. Crochet 2 small flowers. Sew them on both sides of the center of the mushroom. Up to this point, we have finished explaining the large and small flowers. Next, crochet the base piece. Start with a magic ring and crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Cast on 4 chain stitches. Join with a slip stitch to form a circle. The beginning chain is complete. Make 3 chain stitches. Crochet 3 chain stitches. Crochet 1 leaf into the chain space. Everyone crochets based on the pattern chart. Complete the base piece. Let me explain here. The base piece needs to be connected to the mushroom at specific positions. The method of connection was explained in Motif 2. I would like to emphasize the connection points on the back of the mushroom. The marker is at the stitch position. Pick up the horizontal line on the back for connection. The marked points are at the stitch positions. Pick the 2 threads slightly below at the back for connection. The marked point is in the middle position. Pick 1 thread from the middle for connection. Make sure to mark all positions first, then connect them in order. In the final round, it needs to be connected to Motif 2. The method of connection has been explained before. It's almost the same as how Motif 2 connects to Motif 1. Pay attention to this corner's connection point. It's about picking up the hole at the corner for connection. Up to this point, the base piece has been fully explained. At the same time, we've also covered Motif 3.